Hi. Hey, everybody. I really wish I could come on here and just be like, really like the way that I'm always on, like, hey, everybody, like, welcome to Candy's Corner. I'm Candice. Have all that energy. I can't do it right now. I can't. So it is Sunday, May 7th, 2023. And I'm already over this. I'm already over it. First and foremost, hope you guys had a great weekend. Yeah, I'm trying to really get myself into this, right? So let me just say this. I know things happen all the time, whether it's good or bad. We can't really control a lot of things that goes on. Hey, Jeremy. And so if you follow JLJ, aka JLJ Media, aka James Lott Jr. on YouTube, you know that he was supposed to go on a trip, a well-deserved birthday vacation, I might add. But I think it was because of the train situation, they got and everything, he was unable to go. Which sucks because for us who knows, he has gone through it, under it, and around it, with a lot of family stuff, professional stuff, just stuff all around. And he truly deserves a vacation. We all deserve a vacation. So then the big one for me is, most of you guys know that I did a GoFundMe to raise money to help me go to the Daytime Emmys in June. Now, I'm not saying I'm going in. I just, want to be there. And I want to thank everybody who has supported and donated to the GoFundMe, because I kept going back and forth with doing this. Because with a GoFundMe, I always said that a GoFundMe is used for like emergency situations. Your house catches on fire and you need something, medical stuff, anything. And I was going back and forth. I really was going back and forth with it. I was like, okay, should I go ahead and do it and put my pride, aside, stuff like that. And like I said, I really do thank everybody who donated, because it meant a lot to me that there's some people out here who understand that this is a dream of mine. I really do want to go, even if it's like my toe on the carpet or, or me touching the gate or something like that. But recently, in the last couple of hours, I'm starting to doubt if this is going to happen or not, because there's something called a WGA strike. And for you guys who know, that's the Writers Guild Association, their strike for equal pay, equal respect from the industries and whatnot. The writers are so important to all of these shows and movies that, if there was no writers, there would be no shows, point blank, period. And of course, without the writers, there's no words for actors to speak, and that's how we go from there. So Drew Barrymore, who you guys know, I love Drew Barrymore. Like, that is my spirit animal. She was scheduled to host tonight the MTV TV and Movie Awards. I don't know why they combined those. Okay. And she had dropped out because she is standing with the WGA. Jamie Lee Curtis, who is also one of my spirit animals, had dropped out from being a presenter because she also feels strongly about the situation. I think they were going to be on Paramount. I think the show was going to be on Paramount, on Paramount Pictures Studio. And pretty much this is the deal. So you have the WGA, like, I strike because of So basically, the actors who are nominated or presenting, as well as the fans, will be there at the awards and everything. Well, there's a line. So you have the union members. This is the union, my finger. Okay. And these are the people. And basically, if you cross the line or whatnot, like, in other words, okay, so cross the street is this and everything. Pretty much, if you go in and you're like, you're pretty much saying you to the WGA. You're not like really helping. So there was a lot of actors who said that they're not coming because of the strike. They're siding with the writers. So they made a decision to cancel the live awards and do a clip-based ceremony. I mean, this is last minute, but they had to do it. So then it started to really sit and dawn on some of us that this could probably happen to the Daytime Emmys, as well as the Tony Awards. And that's what's kind of got me irked, because I don't know the protocol. I don't know. That's all I can say. I don't know. I want the writers to get the respect that they truly deserve and get the pay. I want the strike to be over. I do. And it's not for self. It's just, to me, I remember the last writer strike. I think I've actually gone through 2 writer strikes in my life, or maybe 3, like as a fan watching these shows. And I know sometimes it's a hit and miss. We lost some good shows. Pushing Daisy was one of them. I love Pushing Daisies. That was my show, you guys. And with the current state of television and everything, you just don't know. You just don't know. Now, I'm going to go to the daytime because that's my key element, right? So, Young and Restless is good because Josh Griffin is over there. He's non-union. Days of Our Lives, you won't notice anything until like around later on in the year, early 2024. GH and Bold, they are 6 to 8 weeks out. So I don't know who they got to be like, quote unquote, the, like rollovers or anything else like that. Now I know over at, let me see, at Days, it has to be Fran Myers and Jeannie Marie Ford, I think, who are non-unions. But I'm not too sure. I know Days goes back this week. But, so I'm over here and I'm like saying to myself, Candice, okay, there is a chance the Daytime Emmys may not happen. What do you do? And I don't know. I don't know. So I'm worried about that. The next thing I'm worried about is starting tomorrow, parents who are out there, anybody, it's Teacher Appreciation Week / Childcare Provider Week. And shout out to all the teachers and childcare providers out there, because just like the writers, we don't get no respect. Sadly, it is true, folks. Teachers and childcare workers do not get the attention when you go, right? It's a profession that many cannot do. And it's a profession that really you have to have real strong bones to do. I've been doing this now. Really, I've been doing it for 17 years. Because at the current job I'm at, this is my second go around. The first go around I left because I was going to work at a car shop with insurance. So, if you ever need good insurance quotes, hit me up. But I came back, and come August, I'm going to be celebrating 15 years. I love being a teacher. I love being a childcare teacher. And childcare workers, we really don't get the attention. We don't really get the respect. And sometimes it's not even about that. It's just, yeah, you have to have a lot of patience. God, you have to have a lot of patience. But childcare workers and teachers, we kind of get brushed under the rug. Like, nobody cares about us. Yeah, it's funny because without childcare workers and teachers, we wouldn't have writers. We wouldn't have doctors. We wouldn't have police officers. We wouldn't have firefighters. We wouldn't have presidents. We wouldn't have a lot of things without teachers and childcare workers. So recently, there was a discussion here in Maryland about upping the pay for childcare workers and stuff like that. And it was denied. Lord, let me tell you. It's frustrating because, you know, here in Baltimore, you guys know where I live at. There was a situation last Saturday at a local T-Mobile store where an 18-year-old and a 14-year-old, let me repeat that, an 18-year-old and a 14-year-old brothers went into a T-Mobile store and attempted robbery and shot the clerk straight in the face. The guy who was shot was 23 years old. 23 years old. And sadly, he died. Now, you're like, okay, we constantly hear these stories all the time. That's the problem. One, we hear these stories too much, right? But apparently earlier in the day or that day or whatnot, before they came here, they was in New Jersey and they did the same thing. Then you hear about, I think it was yesterday, it was like a 5-year-old or some kids, mass shootings. And I'm just like, I'm so over it, right? We're all over it at this point. And I'm sorry, but if I hear this the next time around, we send our thoughts and prayers to those who were affected by this tragic situation. If you're so sorry, and why aren't you doing anything? That's my question, is instead of saying, you're literally repeating your same speech, but you're just taking out the state, city, wherever, and you putting it into that speech. We like to send our sincere apologies and thoughts and send our thoughts and prayers to the families and friends of and such 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 and such. This is our one. It is now May 7th, right? We are now at 199 mass shootings this year. It hasn't even really been 200 days yet. It literally hasn't been 200 days yet, right? And let me tell you how I'm tying this to teachers, okay? Sadly, I don't know where these parents were for these kids. I don't know what type of kids they were before this. I just want to know a couple of things as a teacher. School's not completely done yet. Why is the 14th? Like my mind went everywhere, right? And then I go back a couple of weeks ago down in Florida. I believe there was a child who brought a gun and shot the teacher because, quote unquote, the teacher said something to the parents or whatnot. And allegedly the parents didn't like the teacher because they felt as though the teacher was doing too much for the kid because the kid was constantly coming home and saying that he was tired and he couldn't do this math and everything. And I'm thinking to myself, Candice, if I was a parent and my child came up to me and said that, first and foremost, I wouldn't even get mad. I would be happy that my child is frustrated because that means they're learning. That means the teacher is doing their job. Now, I also saw the video of a high school student who got mad because the teacher took away her cell phone because they were learning in class. Everybody say it with me. They were learning in class. And you see, at first okay, I had a problem with this. I'm going to tell you before I get to my whole thing is, so I must be even getting old, which shut up, or something. But I'm like, these kids are literally recording stuff in their class, or they're not paying attention at all to their teachers because they're like on Facebook Live, like, hey y'all, or on TikTok, like, hey y'all, Instagram and stuff like that. So basically what happened was somebody was recording and the teacher took this girl's cell phone. The girl got up and walked towards the teacher like aggressively, like, give me back my effing phone, right? So the teacher was like, no, you know the policies. We're not supposed to have the phones in class. Okay, now for the other 5 people that had their phones out, I'm like, okay, where was y'all at? Like, did y'all not hear that? Okay. So apparently somebody was like, oh, shoot, they're going in the hallway. And you hear the girl cussing at the teacher and whatnot. The teacher had to be around my age, maybe younger. I don't know. So then what happened was, you see the administrator, you see people coming out of the hallway, some people being nosy. And the girl literally, like, she had her keys and everything like that. And the teacher was like, give me back my phone. Now she casually was doing like this, right? The teacher was like, no, you know what the protocol is. And I guess was talking to somebody about it and whatnot. This girl literally pepper sprayed the teacher in the eye. Luckily, it did not get too much contact, but it was like, she literally, like, it did like this. So I don't know if, like, obviously it didn't, like, she didn't do all that. And I'm thinking to myself, first and foremost, this is the sad reality. This is why there's a lot of people who are quitting this profession, because there is some, and I'll say some hard-headed kids out there with no home training. I'm sorry, because it starts at home. It really starts at home for these kids to learn the rights and wrongs. We, child care workers and teachers, we continue to teach them the right and wrong. But it's also the parents' job to also work with us and not against us. Okay? I understand that the world has changed and there's not a lot of, you know what I'm about to say. I understand that the world has definitely changed. And you have some parents who, not all, let me just clarify that. You have some parents who are the parents that are, this is my toy, this is my thing that can show off. And sadly, that's the reality, is that you have some parents who are not as hands-on as like our parents were growing up. Does that make sense? These kids know more about tablets than they ABCs and 1, 2, 3s. My sister kids made me feel like kindergarten. I mean, my thing is, you don't have to be, okay, I'm not a parent, okay? But every single day, and you guys know this, I'm with those kids to the point where the parents are like, Miss Candice is y'all second mama. She knows you better than we know you. I have such an issue with that statement because I do feel as though the parents should know the child a little bit better than me. I mean, yes, I spend most of my time with them. I do. But I feel as though, like, you should know what your child's favorite color is. You should know what your child's favorite thing to read, or to know that they know their ABCs and their 1, 2, 3s, and they can read a book, or, like, that's the thing, instead of tablet. Like, seriously, some of the kids in my class knows how to do YouTube better than I. Like, I was like, wait, y'all know the YouTube sign that they know about Target, which is fine. I don't care. Speaking of Target, where is it? Target, sponsor me. I got your bags. Anyway, but you know what I'm saying? And then after we're done, they go into school. And sadly, you hear about it all the time. Like, you do hear the horror stories. And I say this, ever since COVID, the child care profession, teachers' profession has changed so much to the point where it's scary. You had some teachers who quit because of the keyword patience. These are a new breed of children growing up. Hey, Sarah. And it's one of those things where, for me, I'll say this. Some of the kids that I have was born during COVID. So, and if you look at the study and everything, hey, Lakina, they did a recent study saying if your child was born during COVID, their social skills may be different than their development. Meaning they social development may not be as high as their brain development. Like, in other words, they can absorb more information. Like, again, learning how to use the tablet, reading, doing this. But when it comes to socializing, it's a little bit different. Versus before COVID, the kids was like, ah! Like jumping up and down, woo! And everything else like that. And we start teaching them their ABCs. It's crazy. And now you have, and look, it's not just the kids, it's not the parents, it's also the teachers. You have some teachers who are just like done. They're done. Stick a fork in them, they're done. Because of the treatment, right? You constantly hear, especially if you guys hear me on Soul Party Take Two on here, stuff like that. I'm always saying teachers and childcare workers are truly seriously, when I say, count how many times I say this, unsung heroes of the world. Period. On Guiding Light and General Hospital, to kind of make this a thing, and on One Life to Live, I loved the fact that they had teachers as like Tammy on Guiding Light wanted to be a teacher. Y'all remember this, right? Okay. Marcy on One Life to Live was a teacher. I was so freaking excited. I was like, and this is before I even became a teacher. I was so excited. And then you have Willow. One of the reasons that I loved Willow in the beginning was she was a teacher. I was like, yes. Because look, soaps have so many police, doctors, lawyers, business people, fashion designers, talk show hosts, strippers, bakers, and all that. But you don't hear about teachers. And if you do hear about teachers, it's the bad type of teachers, right? Max wants this woman to die. Oh, no. Yeah, I'll get to that in a minute. But no, like, you have, okay, the teacher, that they accuse of Liz's rape. Sometimes they put teachers into an awkward position, like they're creepy teachers, they're the pedophiles, they're the rapists and stuff like that. And it's like, no, don't do that. Don't do that. But I'm just like, okay, can we have teacher and childcare representation on daytime? For crying out loud, I'm just asking for a friend. But no, in all honesty, it's frustrating because, I know in California recently, they had a teachers union strike. I know that Maryland, thank God, they didn't have one. Thank God. But I know that there's talks, yes, the teacher, school year is coming to a close. We're all year round. Childcare is all year round, folks. Yay! But we still don't feel like we know we're doing something. And hopefully the parents understands we are doing something. But to everybody else, we're glorified babysitters, And I babysit on the side. You guys know this. So I'm like, but I don't understand how many months before summer? Well, the official start of summer is Memorial Day weekend, right? Or in this case, today. I'm just saying, weren't they supposed to do Josh being hot for a teacher story? And oh yeah, Josh was supposed to be for what was homeboy's name? Mark Lawson's character that got killed in the bomb thing that was with Lulu. What was his name? Oh shoot. What was his name? Because he was cute. Mark Lawson. Mark Lawson needs to be back on the soap ASAP. Just saying. What was his name? Because he proposed to Lulu, didn't he? What the heck was his name? Y'all know who I'm talking about, right? Why can't I think? Was it Brody? No, Brody. Dustin. That's what it was. Dustin. Yes. I should have known that. That was one of my ex-boyfriend's names. Sorry. But, they had that. And let's not forget the mentor that Kiki had. Y'all gonna really watch. I'm still salty about the James DePava thing. I'm still salty about it. But that's the thing. And then, like I said, this week is is Teacher Appreciation Week, Childcare, Workers Appreciation Week. And it's like, how many people, unless I keep saying it, how many people would actually know it? Like, I feel as though that should be like splattered all across the world. Like, it's, first and foremost, it should be a national holiday week, to be honest with you. It should really be a thing. And, I want to give a shout out to Jeff Branson. You guys know Jeff, Jonathan, Roman, Shane. If you go back, I think it was a year ago, maybe 2 years ago on the locker room, he gave a shout out to teachers because he was like, I don't know how they do it. I don't know how they do it. And there's a couple people who will say that they don't know how we do it. But we do it because we love it. It's not, and see, and this is the thing. I know some people will say they want because they want the money and everything. Look, I'm gonna be honest with you. Yes, pay. Yes. If somebody can work at McDonald's and get more than a teacher or at childcare, we got an issue right there, right? Okay. I will say this for me. I love working with children. I do. And there's a couple of reasons why I love working with kids. One, to know that I made an impact in how they grow, right? Because before I was a 2-year-old teacher, I was an infant. So I saw them walk. I saw them try to talk, eating food, stuff like that. To see them develop into these little humans who get a little sassy at times, but to see them communicate and get excited when they get something done, when they actually accomplish something on their own. And the best is the hugs. Oh my gosh, you guys. If I'm ever having a bad freaking day and I come in, they're like, Miss Candice, I missed you. That's the best feeling. Or because I'm the biggest kid there, we do Baby Shark. They know how to get me. Some will say they have me wrap around their finger. But I just love it. I really do. And, with the whole soap thing that I do on the side and this, somebody asked me if I have to pick between the two of them. And I said, I can't do that because I really love both of them. I really do. I love being creative. And that's another factor that I love about being a teacher is I can create a whole world for them. And I can keep them safe. Well, because one thing I will say for me, as well, I'm going to say this about all the teachers. We try to make them forget about what's happening in the real world for a minute. And it's scary because I've seen the trainings. Look, we even got a briefing about it, about what would happen if, God forbid, somebody comes in with a gun and shoots, starts shooting everything. Luckily, where I'm at is very tight security. But in the back of my head, and I can't imagine teachers who had to go through the training and everything, but already in my head, and this is something that I never had to think about before. Because back in the day, all we had to think about was bomb threats. Y'all remember? And the fire, you remember the fire plan and the bomb threats, and like, now we got to think about if somebody comes in and starts shooting, what are we supposed to do, and all that. And that's scary for kids. It's scary for us, but and so, and I always say this, and I'm being dead serious when I say this. Something like that ever happens, I'm letting everybody know now. I'm using myself as a shield. I'm not letting those kids get hurt. I will literally throw those kids. Like, I would be like, and I have the amount of kids I actually know how to pick all of them up. I have, like, and parents who are watching this, especially moms and dads, you know what I'm about to say. If something happens to, that happens in your environment and everything, it doesn't matter if you have 1, 2, 3, 4 kids. You somehow have this super strength to pick all those kids up and go. Like, you literally do. Hey, Aquarius, you all of a sudden have this superpower where it's like, let's go. Like, even with the book bag on, right? Oh, that's right. Is James on now? Yeah, he is. But yeah, it's just, let me see. And Kayla says, teachers, the hardest workers, molding kids' minds, help them define where some go in life. It feels like an unappreciated thing. It really is. And sometimes I think it is what happens. Oh, nothing. You see, I forgot to add, they will come back. Oh, and you know what, Kayla? It's funny. So I keep all of the kids' artwork that they give me in cards, like when they leave to go to another school, or if they're moving and stuff like that. Actually, I am still in touch with all of the kids, parents and kids that I first had. And remember I said this is my second go around. So one of the kids that I had when I first started, he was 3 years old and everything, and I babysat him and his brother. Last year, I get a phone call from his mom. Me and his mom has been cool since day one. And she said, hold on, somebody wants to talk to you. So I was like, okay. He gets on the phone. He's like, hi, Miss Candice. And I said, hey, baby. Like, what's going on? He was like, nothing. He said, so I just wanted to let you know something. And I said, what? He was like, I got a new job. And I'm like, okay, like, where are we working at? Stuff like that. He was like, I'm going to be working at Google. I said, Google? As in Google. He said, as in Google. And I said, what are you doing? What are you going to do? He's like, I'm going to be working for the web, like art and everything. I remember when this boy was 3 years old and he could draw, like that was his go-to. He loved art. To know he is going to be at Google. He's already at Google. But he said something. He said, I will never forget, Miss Candice, when you gave me the Crayola 24 pack set with the 24 crayons with the sharpener. Y'all remember that when it was still cool. And I said, oh my God, you still remember that? He was like, yeah. And I was like, wow, that was a hot minute. He was like, I know, but you was the only one that gave me one because mommy didn't want to get me one because she kept saying that it was too expensive. And we're joking and everything, but he's like, I just wanted to say thank you. I said, not a problem. He's like, and I got you. I said, you got me. I said, okay. By the way, I'm still waiting, by the way, for that. I don't know what it was. But no, I'm like looking right now. Like, I still have some of the kids' artwork that I first started with. One of the other kids that I used to watch just got their driver's license. I'm like, whoa, child, okay. One of them called me Wonder Woman. Like, you're an awesome teacher, Miss Candice. I literally have a spot here in my place where I keep all the kids' arts and like cards and stuff. And that's also motivation, because there's days where I'm just like, oh, let's see. Can I just say real quick, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 is awesome. But no, it's just, I know that, like I said, there's a lot of teachers and childcare workers who, because of pay, because of the lack of respect and everything, they dropped out of it. And it's kind of hard, because on the flip side, childcare workers, I will say this, and teachers, one of the things that is another frustration is we have to buy our own supplies. And it's refreshing to see shows like Albert Elementary. Shout out to them. And that's another reason I need for the strike, because I love that show. That show is the show for us teachers and child. I'm going to create a show. I'm going to get with Quinetta, and we're going to come up with Albert Daycare. Like, it's going to be a spinoff, and it's going to be about daycare, about childcare. But I want to give them a shout out, because they was doing something really sweet. They were teaming up with Scholasticus. I can't even talk. Y'all remember those book fairs? And they were raising money and giving school supplies to teachers. And I'm like, that is great. I love when people recognize the real struggle, but also rewarding them. It's a beautiful thing. It really is. So I needed to get that out, that, this week is Teacher Appreciation Week, Childcare Appreciation Week. If you have a teacher or childcare, even if you don't use, then still kind of give them a heads, like, just say thank you, flowers or, candy or something. Show them that you appreciate them, because you're right. It's not easy. It's not easy, especially the last couple of years. It's not easy. It's not easy. So I wanted to say that. Okay, so WJA strike, teacher appreciation, childcare. Okay, so real quick, because I'm probably going to talk about it later, maybe. No, I got to talk about Guardians real quick. Okay, so I would like to say this to all of those who had something to say during when they were like showing the previews and stuff like that. Ha 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 ha. There was some percentage who said that this movie was going to suck. Guess what? It's the #1 movie. And I'm just gonna say it, Marvel fans who saw it already, this comes this close to Endgame. Like, literally lashes. It comes this close to Endgame. This close. It did. It almost. It was something that they could have done. They could really. And I was like, darn that. Thank you, Marvel and James Gunn and the cast and crew. You know what? Screw it. Bravo. Bravo. I will say this. I'm going to say something that's going to be very controversial. The Guardians may be the best trilogy in the Marvel Universe. Take that to the bank, cash it. And there's a reason. Because you got to remember, okay, Guardians of the Galaxy never had the top billing as like the Avengers or the Fantastic Four. The Guardians of the Galaxy was there, but they never really got the spotlight that they deserved, right? Okay. And you're right. The first movie was straight up, okay, where are we going? Is this a comedy? Are we supposed to, like, what's going on here? And I think over time, we've grown with these characters. And surprisingly, we've seen some of ourselves in these characters. Wait a minute, let me read what Kayla said. When school year begins again, help these teachers out with supplies. It's a tax deduction. Help kids less afford. It feels good. Even sponsor kids. Exactly. I remember back in the day, real quick. I remember back in the day, PBS used to do it. And it's even with, okay, so there's a website, teacherspayteachers.com. And basically it's teachers create files and stuff for other teachers to use. And, you know, some of them are free to download, and there's some that cost $1, $7 and stuff like that. I know that Amazon, they do something like that too. But it's just when you hear, and I will say this, parents, I'm going to need your help with this, because sometimes I feel as though kids don't understand the right. TP is Sarah, you're feeling me on that. Sometimes I feel as though children don't really understand how awesome it is to be a teacher or childcare. Like I always say this is how I do it. Your kid can be so excited about a wrestler or an actor or sports player, right? Like they're like, oh my God, they're that. And sometimes I feel like saying, well, you know, and Sarah, I'm going to use you for a minute. There would be no Steph freaking Rollins, if it wasn't for their math teacher or, you know, teachers like that. If you want to be like Steph freaking Rollins, you need to learn A, B, C, D, E, F, G, 1, 2, 3, uno, dos, tres, cuatro, cinco. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, build that in so they'll be like, okay, instead of just thinking, you know, like teachers and childcare workers just needs that platform where people can get excited about it. It's like, yes, like, oh, yeah, yay. Instead of just feeling like, okay, we're here. It's just like push the kids off. And if you're homeschooling the kids, because look, I'm gonna be honest, I heard what Meghan Trainor said. I did. And I'm just like, girl, sometimes like it's all about the shh. It's all about the shh. You know, you may be a mama, but it's all about the shh. Don't you need to say anymore? You know, that's all I gotta say about that. So it is what it is. I mean, like I said. Oh, she was talking about, okay, so she was talking about how she would not have her kids in public schools because of, you know, all the stuff. She was like, that's why I had my kids home trained and stuff like that. Basically, she was like, now, here's the thing. I know a lot of parents who do homeschooling, and I always say that's commitment. But at the same time, and this is why I say the world has changed so much, because sadly, you do hear more about school shootings now than you did before. Yes, there were school shootings before, but not to the degree that it is now, right? And I understand for a lot of parents who have kids in public schools, it is frustrating to know if they're going to be back home later that night. Like, that's scary. Even with childcare, like anywhere, you don't know if you're going to see somebody later on in the day, or if you're going to make it through the end of the day, right? Because that's the world we're in right now, right, folks? Like, we don't know what it is, you know. I mean, yeah. Let me see. My daughter told me about that clip. She said the host that Megan was talking to is right, but oh yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. But it's okay. This is where Candice stands at with this. When it comes to celebrities talking about teachers, there is some who are just like, yo, teachers and childcare workers, they need all the recognition, respect that they truly deserve. Then there's some actors and singers and performers who are like, yeah, I would not be a teacher because I don't have the patience, and I know that the pay is not good. First and foremost, you're a celebrity. How do you think you got there? How do you think, really, in all honesty, how do you think you got there? Just, and there's a teacher's podcast where one of the girls, I think her name is Lana, she does the best impersonation of a certain celebrity. I'm not going to say it on here, but she's like one of the tops actresses in Hollywood. And she did like an interview a couple of years ago where she was talking about saying how she felt that the education system has taken a hit, not because of the finances, but God, this is gonna suck. Because again, the teachers are not being treated fair. But it's the way that this actress said it that makes it funny on the podcast. I will if I'm gonna get that clip. But she did it, and I was like, yeah, that's the gist of it. Like, it's literally the gist of it. Is that to the outs, because I feel as though, like, to the outsiders, they don't understand the struggle of a teacher and a childcare worker minus the drama. You see what I'm saying? Like, yeah, again, school shootings and teacher-student relationships and childcare workers and, like the drama. Take the drama out. It's still a struggle because we still have to buy our own supplies. Parents and teachers, because the one thing I always say with my parents, and this is a blessing, I have an open communication with my parents and vice versa. I like watch all of them. But we have an open communication where we can talk. We can talk. Not a lot of teachers and parents have that, because you have some parents who are just like, look, that stays there. This stays here at home. That stays there. This stays at home. And then there's some teachers who are like, I do not want to talk to the parent because of the way the parent has come at me, or, as a teacher and stuff. And then there's the kids. The kids will probably say two different things to the point where the teacher's like, I don't want to talk to your mother or father, and vice versa. The parent's like, I do not want to talk to you. Like, why should I even talk to your teacher? Why? Like, what is going on? Like, I sent you with the schoolwork, even though it was supposed to be done yesterday, but I still send it to you, Oh, man. It used to be very collaborative. Oh, yeah. Like this week, like right before I came on here, I sent out a nice email to all the parents to let them know what this, not saying it's Teacher Appreciation Week, because I feel as though, right, that's not really my place. It's my boss's place to say it too. And also I think because everybody probably got the emails, so it's fine. But I'd like to let them know what this week's lesson plan is. And this week we're actually talking about careers, right? Last week we was talking about teachers and library. I should have reversed it, but this week it's going to be firefighters and police officers, right? Yay! I already know what songs and stuff to say. Anyway, but I let them know, and I told them on Friday we're going to have a big party, and the reason for it is because my kids worked really hard the last 3 weeks. They did what they were supposed to do, so the big reward is they're going to have a little party. And not for nothing, I just want a fun day. I just want a fun day. I want to play with Play-Doh. I want to play with... I told you I'm the biggest kid in my class. Like, seriously, like, out of everybody, I'm the biggest kid. And I think that's another thing, is that sadly, these kids do not have a childhood, like a normal childhood like we did. And by that, I mean, seriously, a childhood. We were able to ride our bikes up and down the street. We were able to roller skate. We were able to go places and feel safe. We had cartoons instead of news taking up all our time and giving us bad news. Like, we had a childhood. We would, have the chalk on the street. We would jump rope, play hide, go seek, Mother May I, played Uno, Connect Four, and stuff like that. It wasn't us always being on the computer, So I try to make sure that they have a childhood, and we have different days. Like a couple of weeks ago, it was Superhero Day. And let me tell you, my class, we showed up. They came in. We had the Justice League music playing. And And then we did Spider-Man. Okay, so real quick, this tells you that I work with kids. There's a song called Five Finger Superheroes, Five Finger Family. Sarah might know this. And there's a song where it's like, Wonder Woman, where are you? Here I am, how do you do? Like, and then it'll be like, Spider-Man, where are you? Here I am, how do you do? Like, those songs get stuck in my head, you guys. You think Baby Shark was the one? No. But no, like we had Cartoon Week is coming up soon. I can't wait for that because they know some of them, but I'll incorporate like superhero alphabets. So I have the alphabet cards that is the superheroes, you know, like A is for Aquaman and B is for Batman. But somebody told me there's a new ABCs. There's a new alphabet system. Because, you know, when we was growing up, A was for apple, A was for alligator, bat, you know, stuff like that. Now, I kid you not, and Sarah, you're probably the most connected with this. I don't know. The new ABCs is A, Amazon, B, Brosco, C, Chipotle, D, Disney, E, da-da-da. Like, it's stuff that we currently have. And so the thing is, like, when I have my bag and everything, one of the kids was like, Miss Candice, I'm going to go to Target. I said, spell Target. But they know the Amazon truck. They know they know UPS truck. I'm like, what the mess? They know Chick-fil-A. Well, they know Chick-fil-A. Yes. There. So it's okay. So wait, it's A is for Amazon, B is for Bosco, C is for Chipotle, D is for Disney, E is for I forgot, F is for FedEx, G is for I forgot, H I J K. I remember M. Okay, M is for Mickey Mouse, N is for noodles. That was O is for I forgot. But I will send it. I will send it to you guys so y'all can see what I'm talking about. But I was just like, oh heck no. A is for apple. B is for da 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 da. Now I will say that I have the ABC cards that has like Aquaman, Batman, Captain America. Let me see. D is for who do I have for? Oh, for Donald Duck. E is for elephant. G, like, you know, stuff that I know the kids know, right? But I'm saying Amazon. I'm like, but it's because again, we gotta realize, you guys, these kids that came after COVID, they know about Amazon. They know about YouTube. They know about Netflix. They know about DoorDash. And it's sad. It really is sad to the point where, again, like I said, these kids know how to use a YouTube. Like, literally, like, you give them a tablet, they know how to work it. Versus me, I still struggle sometimes, but they be like, boop, 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 boop. And I'm like, okay. But that's another thing I would say is their development, brain development, y'all, they're smarter than ever when it comes down to this kind of stuff. And it's like it's amazing, but it is like you said, like we're saying, their childhood. Like, okay, I know most of you guys are like, Candice, you talk about so much TV. Did you even have a childhood? Yes, I did. I played hide and seek. I played Mother May I played Uno, and I'm sorry, real quick. Okay, that Uno rule they changed up. You couldn't do a pile up. Keep doing the pile ups, folks. Don't let them tell you different. If you have a drawer too, you go ahead and be like, what? Uno, like drawer two. Skip you, draw two. Reverse it back to me, draw two. like, I want to play Uno now. Somebody come and play with me on this one. But yeah, it's, oh God. I should teach my kids how to play Uno. But see, if I do that, I'm not going to do that yet. But it was also Uno was a good game for math too, and color. I knew I could wing that one. So yeah. You see. Oh, Nikki, you talking to somebody? Let me tell y'all something about Uno and me. I know that 3 of my friends who are probably going to rewatch this later are going to make a comment underneath and say, Candice always cheated. No, Candice did not cheat. Here's how you did it. If you had a draw 2, you put it down. Bah. All right. Somebody else is like, bah. Okay. Especially if it was 2 players, right? This is where you got serious. Okay. I'm serious. If you was down with 2 players, if it was just me and you and everything, this is how serious it got. Once you hit those 5 cards, those last 5 cards, right? Everything was on the line. Your friendship was on the line. Especially if you had 2 draw 2s, and 2 draw 4s, and 1 skip. It was serious. It was serious business. To the point that I can remember one of my friends had to do 18 cards. We haven't spoke since. I'm joking. I'm joking. Julie said, I used to do crazy stuff when I was a kid. Everyone says how I'm so young. I mean, okay, I'm going to be honest with you. I think each generation of kids has, quote unquote, something very special. Right, Lakina? It was the best thing ever. It was like, especially when the other person got cocky. They was like you got 6 cards. No, you got 7 cards in your hand, right? And they only got either 3 or 2, right? Or if y'all was playing in a group of 4, right? And you know what color they needed. Because you know. And it was always a red. It was always a red. So here you are like this. And you constantly was looking to see the number, right? And it irked the crap out of somebody if you go ahead and be like, okay. Like, okay, somebody had a green 1. You had the blue and you had the yellow. You changed it up to yellow, right? Because nobody probably would have that color, right? That took you down. All right. The person who had those 2 cards, now they have to pluck from the deck. All right. Somebody else goes ahead, keeping it with the yellow. All right. Somebody else is keeping it with the yellow. This is how you did it. Like, okay, you got a yellow and a red and a blue, and it was all the same. Bah! Now you're down to your couple of thumbs, right? This is where it got serious. Because it's like this person had 4, you now have 3. The person who had the 2 now has 4, but you don't know what it is, right? And the other person, well, that person didn't, poor baby. Anyway, so then it was like, all right. So now do you go with the top card, like a draw 4 and get burned, or do you do a skip or a draw 2? Then you could stop. And then the best part was, oh no, because you're like, yeah, y'all don't know what I got. And they would try to psych you out. That was the best part. They would try to psych you. They'd be like, oh no. So now it's like, all right, who's going to get the Uno? Is it going to be you or is it going to be and everything? Then the other person has a draw 2, but it goes to that person. I'm like, oh, okay. But then they the person, then they reverse it and then, stuff. And it's like a blue. Now you only got 1 card. And it's like, oh no, draw 4. Oh, that was the best. Oh, God. And the look on their faces when you were the underdog and you came rising up. That was the best. Oh, take me back. I want to play Uno now. Lakina, come on, let's play Uno. Let's go online and play Uno. Something, I don't know. But no, real quick. But like I was saying, like these kids do not have that. You know, and some of the shows that is out there for the kids, I'm struggling because we all grew up with Sesame Street, Reading Rainbow, Where in the World's Come San Diego. We had Saturday morning cartoons. We had early morning cartoons before we went to school. We had after school. We had Fox Kids, the WB. We had PBS. We had that. We had the Mickey Mouse Club. We had all that. Now I don't know what some of these shows are. Like I said, the biggest pet peeve I have is Alvin and the Chipmunks. I'm like, it's called Alvin and the Chipmunks. No, it's Alvin and the Chipmunks. And I'm like, y'all stretch Alvin's name out to match what Dave said. And I'm like, this is why some of the kids can't spell. I said, y'all better ring it back in. Ring it back in. It's Alvin and the Chipmunks. Thank you. Alvin, not Alvin and the Chipmunks. Alvin. Just Alvin and Chipmunks. Alvin. Alvin. Just Alvin. That's a big pet peeve of mine. They will never, you're right, they will never know how it felt to get up when you, and the crazy thing is we wanted to get up early on Saturday mornings to catch ABC or CBS or NBC or Fox or or the WB. We got up in our pajamas. We was like, okay, bowl of cereal, the sugar cereal you could find, right? And you literally had the bowl of cereal. And you literally had the couch to yourself from whatever time you woke up until, 12 o'clock sometimes, right? You couldn't tell us nothing. You could not tell us. While mom or whoever was cleaning the house, you had your Saturday morning cartoons on. You couldn't tell us anything. I would what? Well, see, here's the thing about the outlet, because, okay, there's a debate going on to this day about NBC. And most of you guys know what the debate was. That NBC did not really have many cartoons in the sense of 90s. Because in the 90s, you still had Saved by the Bell, which was not a cartoon. City Guys. You guys remember that? Hang Time. And of course, California Dreams. And then you had One World. I must give a shout out to One World. And that's why they rebranded it TNBC. And I cannot forget, that. Now, Muppet Babies incorporated live action. It was Jim Henson. I mean, come on now. Like, seriously. Like, that's what they did. And you had Kid and Play. You had New Kids on the Block. You had all these cartoons. But really, NBC came under a lot of issues back in the day. Yeah. But it worked because, and the thing is that, okay, if we all close our eyes right now, I bet we can all remember the Saved by the Bell theme song. Go ahead, try it. Okay, y'all know what I was jamming to it. I had the whole music intro. We don't have that anymore. We don't have, now I was a little bit older, but I still watched One Saturday Morning, with Pepper Ann and everything. By the way, Pepper Ann was, okay, I need for somebody to do this. Can I get a Pepper Ann Kim Possible crossover? Because that theme would be awesome. Like you had Pepper Ann, in her own parade. Pepper Ann, she's the one in a million. Okay, can't sing it because we don't have the rights. So yeah. I remember I first discovered Saved by the Bell when it came out on TBS. Yup, TBS. The problem was that oh yeah, well, I will say this. TNBC opened the door for the syndicated shows like Malibu CA or USA High. Do you guys remember USA High? Because if y'all don't, I feel really awkward right now. Because, and then you had the one show Out of the Blue, which had, before he was Jesse on Gone Light, Pablo was on that show. Out of the blue, yeah, too. Okay. Then on the Disney Channel, if you was a Mickey Mouse Club fan, they had Emerald Cove, which was follow suit of the MMC stuff. Thank you, Lakino, because I literally was about to say, if nobody remembers USA High, we have a problem. They had a good theme song, too. I was like, fuck, my Winnie and my Christian. Jacarius, a lot of things was, honey. But that's why you got YouTube. Oh my gosh. Like, I truly believe they should do a 90s channel, right? Like on Pluto or something. Like, there should be a Saved by the Bell channel. Even showing Good Morning Miss Bliss, because that's how I was introduced to the show. California Dreams, I need a reunion show or something. And shout out to Jimmy Fallon, because you did do that. You did do that, Jimmy. Thank you for that. But I just need something, you know. They're all on YouTube, oh, by the way. Now I got that beat stuck in my head. Like, burn out, rocking that USA High. I'm gonna be rocking it, USA High. Rocking that USA High. Well, here's the thing. Okay, so Saved by the, okay, correct me if I'm wrong, you guys. Did they take off Saved by the Bell off of Peacock? The reason, because, all right, I can totally see City Guys being on there, which, by the way, was a really good show. California Dreams, but I don't know, because it wasn't under the NBC umbrella, because remember, it was syndicated and stuff like that with Malibu Shores. Oh, Malibu Shores too. Malibu, California, and USA High. Because USA High was, I mean, it is under the NBC. You're right. It should be on there. That, now, I can make a case for USA High. I can. But I don't know about Malibu CA. So, you see. I remember Good Morning Miss Bliss. This would come on to. Yeah, because they rerouted it. Because, yeah. Because Good Morning Miss Bliss was originally on NBC Saturday night. And then it was on Disney. And then, you know, then Saved by the Bell came a thing. And look at what happened now. And by the way, Peacock, you suck for canceling it. The new version of Saved by the Bell, because I was down for it. You just needed to, you know, show more of the old school kids. So, you know, I remember Dance Party. Yo, I've seen clips of it, and I was just like, oh, Kelly. Yeah, those are some good times. And okay, so for those who did not see it, it's on Netflix. It's Power Rangers. Once a Ranger, always a Ranger. Let me just say this right now. David Yost finally got the total respect that he deserved. And Walter Jones. Those two, but mostly David, because if you know the struggle of David Yost on Power Rangers, you understand what I'm about to say. I felt it was far time for him to get some material like that. And I like the fact that it was not just a kid's feel to it. I love the fact that they understood the assignment. Now, I wish there were some other people that should have been included a little bit, but I was fine with, you know, stuff. And I'm going to spoil a little bit. The end, like the last 30 seconds, that's what got me crying. I was okay until the final part of that. And I'm going to say it. I want to show. I want to show now. I'm invested. I really do want, I want another like 12 episode count or something like that. Don't give me like, you know what I'm saying? But it was really good. I still can't believe some things in the Power Rangers universe, but that's just me. I'm still salty. So, you know, it is what it is. I'm over it, by the way. But real quick, because got to go back to the Guardians real quick. So with Guardians of the Galaxy, they were just like some of us, unsung. And I think what worked was because, again, the comedy of it all, everybody's had good chemistry. And shout out to Dave Bautista, because look, most of us know him as from wrestling. To see him, in this kind of atmosphere, it was I'm going to say, but over what? I'm not going to say. Okay, I'll say it. I'm still salty that Tommy and Kim did not hook up. They wasn't my end game. No offense to the Catherine and Tommy fans out there, but as a Kim and Tommy fan, that really sucked. And I will say the Power Rangers went full soap opera with that. Going to have Kim go and then she met somebody and break Tommy's heart. And then here comes Catherine. She was waiting on the side anyway. And then she got with Tommy. And then, yeah. I'm over it, by the way. I really am over it. I'm like, how y'all gonna do that to us who? And now y'all know where my childhood traumas are. Oh my God. Anyway. Just like I wanted Aisha, no mind, I'm gonna let it go. I'm gonna let that go because that's another topic for another day. But anyway, but no, for the Guardians of the Galaxy, like I said, it was definitely a welcome surprise in the MCU. Their sound, look, I'm gonna say something. Their soundtrack, James Gunn knows how to pick music. Because seriously, you still bitter about that too, Lakina? Okay, we can talk about it. We can talk about it in our therapy session. Thank you. Mm-hmm. I'll be having an open therapy session for those who were shippers of Kim and Tommy on the Power Rangers. We will come with a date for that. Maybe get Amy Jo Johnson. I don't know. That would be funny if I do that and Amy Jo Johnson does pop up. Like, I mean, Kim and Tommy, we had it all with Kim and Tommy. And then Catherine came. Catherine was more suitable for Rocky. I said what I said. I'm sticking to it. Oh, yeah. I mean, Jason David Frank, that still hurts that he's not with us anymore. It's like, damn. Like, like he's not here anymore. But yeah, Amy Jo Johnson and him had chemistry. Another person that had chemistry that I thought, okay, if I couldn't have Kim, y'all gonna be like, Candice, what? Todd, yeah. That was sad. That got overshadowed when she passed away. But yeah. Another person that I shipped Tommy with, even though they didn't really play the beat, was Tanya. Y'all know what episode I'm talking about too. When they had their singing voice. The dumbest episode, but that was one of my favorite episodes. Yeah, Jason David Frank. I sometimes wonder, what it could have been if he signed with WWE. How that would have been interesting if he would have signed with WWE during the same time as Phil, aka CM Punk. That would have been something right there. If they would have got Jason David Frank in the WWE for a short time, oh heck yeah, that would have been I would have loved to seen that. Then him and Brock Lesnar, oh yes, I would have paid some money for that. Yeah, Tanya's another person that does not get the equal. Like, I love Aisha. Don't get it twisted. I do. But Tanya was my girl too, because I was like, and it sucks that Nakia never gets invited to some of these things. I think that's foul. But I know that Catherine Sutherland, who plays Kat, and her do a podcast. They do a show, and I think they spoke about that. Because I was wondering, I was like, how come she never, is a part of these things? So, you want to talk? See, I wanted Aisha and Adam. I had it all laid out. I had a whole map. I was like, yes, this is who's gonna hook up. Cree Summers was a part of my childhood. Like, Cree was always a part. Here's the thing. Cree has been a part of all of our generations because from Different World to For You, Jacarius, she's been doing a lot of voiceover works, and she's an unsung hero too. And Tara Strong. So I want to give a shout out to both of them for that. My trauma, not understand why I boycott. Oh yeah, I mean that whole thing with Sarah Brown, because I remember when she was on Power Rangers, because she played the girl that Tommy, they had a thing, right? I also, by the way, would like to also point out I also shipped her and Tommy, by the way. Thank you. Okay. Anyway, so it was sort of like the ski girl chick and Corey from Boy Meets World, only better. But then when she went to VR Troopers, and I could tell something was up, and I could tell because Sarah Brown was very used in that universe, right? But I do know, yeah, that was heavy. That's when, sadly, you start to understand that there was a lot of foul play behind our favorite shows. And sadly, she wasn't the first one from Saban, Yeah, Cree doesn't get her dues. It surprised me how Aisha left and how quickly. I was like, so, okay, going back to Walter Jones, Zach, when he left, he rolled over to Space Cases. And we all know Space Cases because they had a good song, but because there was this girl with purple hair named Susie who ended up being on General Hospital named Rebecca Herbst. I don't know her. She plays Elizabeth Weber / Baldwin, and she's like the new head nurse now. Thank you. But and Julia Stiles too, because she's and Julie. When I say Julia, it's Jewel. Yeah, you know what I meant. But there was a lot of stuff with it was a lot of stuff behind closed doors with that. So, yeah. Childhood. And then I saw on Twitter, people was posting like, I must have been the only, Jacarius, go on YouTube and watch that. Was talking about, I was there for only one season, and somebody posted Ghost Rider, and I was like, you talk about a show that really utilized school and TV, and that was Ghost Rider. Because if you was part of the 4-H boy and girls club, they used that show like you was a part of something right there. I had my pen. I still do to this day. Except I don't have my string with it. I still have my notebook. I'm like, Ghost Rider, give us a clue. And then I realized, wait, Candice, Ghost Rider wasn't a real thing. They should, and I did hear. Oh yeah, Ghost. Oh yeah, but I'm gonna tell you something. You gotta be all right, and reach for the stars. You gotta. That song stuck with me for the almost 30 years. When Lenny sung that, it was like, reach for the sky. You got, all right. That song was the best. And then the recast Gabby's. Like in mid-season, y'all think the whole Babe stuff from All My Children was something, but the Gabby's on Ghost Rider was a completely different story. And then to find out that the girl who played Lenny, Blaze, she had a twin sister who also appeared in the show. Like they were tag team, apparently. I'm like, mind blown, but smart. Let me see. I'm surprised that they never done same. I always wondered about that too. It's like somebody do some like dig and find out what's going on with that. Because that was a really good show. That and Square One TV. I credit Square One TV for my math. And see, that's the thing. You don't have a lot, even though, I said about TV, but you had some shows that really was fun to watch, but it was educational, but you just didn't know you were learning. Like Square One TV, the MathNet. The best freaking spoof of Dragnet was MathNet. Like, seriously. The show within the show, MathNet. Like, I learned my fractions because of them. And then you had Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego and Where in Time is Carmen Sandiego. And the songs, again, that was, yes, I mean, seriously, like, yes, you had Sesame Street. Sesame Street, I always say, was for elementary, like preschoolers, elementary, age group, right? Reading Rainbow was universal. Like, hands down, universal. When it got to Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego and Square One TV, that was elementary, middle, and even high school. Like, that was it right there. If you needed help with your science stuff, you turned over to Nickelodeon for this one. Because before Bill Nye, the science guy, there was Mr. Wizard. Then you had Beekman's World. I feel so bad for these kids now. I mean, I know they're, what's the new thing they have is Blippy? Blippy. Yeah, Blippy. Okay. I regret watching Kalu. Oh, Lord Jesus, not Kalu. I'm just a poor kid. Nobody loves me. I'm Caillou. If I hear that song one more freaking time and they're bringing him back, I heard that bringing him back after a petition was signed to get rid of that show. They signed a petition. Wait, you know how that is really, that really says something. That you have a group of people who are done with Kalu. They're like, I'm just a kid who's getting on everybody's nerves. I'm just a kid. I'm Caillou. I mean, I think somebody said they would take Bart Simpson over Caillou. And when we're talking about Bart, we're talking about when he first started as Bart. I'm like, wow. I'm like, okay. I'm like, and then they said they're bringing Caillou back. I'm like, now I got that song stuck in my head. Shoot. Get it out my head. Get it out my head. Seriously, get it out my head. Wait, give me a show, y'all, that I can get this song. Why the hell they're bringing that? Because it's Caillou. And I think it's going to be on Amazon exclusively. That's just like them bringing back Barney. I heard that. Okay, y'all tell me if that's true or not. They're bringing back Barney. Now, Lakina, no. Because as soon as you said Jem, my mind went back to that quote unquote. Apparently, there was a movie made, a live action movie of Jem. I'd never heard of such. I don't know what people be talking about. I'm like, what are they talking about? Some Jem. It was like, yeah, it's a live action. I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. They was like, oh yeah, Chris Pratt made an appearance. I don't remember that. And I know he's problematic to some, but Chris Pratt is funny as I don't know what. I've been a fan of Chris since Everwood. Okay, so, but it was like, yeah, he was in. I was like, I don't remember that. I know Chris in Jurassic World. I know him Guardians. I know the Lego movie. I know her. I know Passengers, which still doesn't get enough credit. But yeah. Okay, Between the Lines was PBS, right? Right, Jacarius? That was on PBS. Because I think my cousin watched that. It was a couple of weeks ago, but apparently Barney is coming back. Why? Okay, America and around the world, let's talk. Let's have a discussion. Why would y'all do that to these generations of kids? Why? Now let me ask a question. Is Barney going to be like Barney, like it was the PBS, or is it going to be something new? Like what like is it going to be live action? It's going to be animation? What we got here? Now I got the Barney song in my head. Darn it. Get out of my head. That sucks. That just ruined my whole. That hasn't been decided yet. It's not that hard, people who are doing this. Either a live action or animation. It ain't that hard. Oh, Disney's doing it? Oh, it's gonna be a Disney cartoon then. Okay. Well, that's big. Hold up. So Disney has Barney? That's huge too, if that's true. Because y'all remember the heat that used to, y'all remember that? Do y'all, for some of y'all remember that? Oh, okay. All right. Good job, Lakina. Woo! Because I was about to say Disney owns everything. But remember how PBS was mad because Disney was trying to do something like Barney, and this was like, I'm gonna take it back for some of y'all. This was around the time where it was like Adventures in Wonderland. Y'all remember, on Disney? They were trying to do something like Barney, and they couldn't do it for some reason. But yeah. Mm-hmm. Let me see. Cyber Chase. I think I remember that. Like my cousins. Again, I have a younger cousin, so I'm telling you, I should do a podcast about childhood traumas and stuff like TV traumas for kids. Or maybe I have and I haven't said anything yet. Mm-hmm. Like I was thinking about, okay, so we know they're going to do a Good Burger too, Kenan and Kel. But I was thinking about Old School Snick the other night. And I was like, so the show that Garen's son is on has homegirl from Alex Mack, Larissa, the one who played Alex Mack, no relation to me. And I was like, yo, full circle. She started on Nick. Now she's playing an aunt on that show. And I'm like, that's crazy. And I'm going to be honest with you, even though I did not like the show when it originally aired on Nick, I do enjoy the new version of I Love Carly. iCarly. I do like it. I do. And I will say it for my friend Bree. She's still salty about Lizzie McGuire not, being greenlit, and she's cool with How I Met Your Father. She's cool with it. I'm like, ooh, baby, like, yeah. iCarly, I gave it a check. I was like, okay, let's see how it works because I'm gonna be okay. For a certain generation, we remember Carissa Explains It All with Melissa Joan Hart. And for some of us, we remember the pilot to Clarissa, which was going to be on CBS, but it didn't get picked up. But we did see the pilot, which you can see on YouTube. And it was I could tell why probably CBS did not do it, but I wish somebody would have done it because I saw a possibility with that. Yeah, for Hillary to walk away. Yeah. I mean, but it kind of sucks because Disney Plus did kind of go it's okay. The fact that they did not allow for like Hillary wanted to be grown in Lizzie McGuire. And the fact that Disney was like, no, but you see now some of their content does have some of the stuff that the Lizzie McGuire stuff was going to have. So it's like, okay, Disney, what was you trying to do? Because I'm going to be honest, I did enjoy Raven's Home the first couple of seasons, but now I'm kind of like, I know it's your longest running, but I'm like, okay. There you go. Still getting salty now that I'm thinking about Everwood. WB, you freaking suck for doing that. You freaking cancel Everwood. I needed to know what was going to happen, and you canceled that show. Sorry, had to get that out there. Oh yeah, I think everybody's glad that Dan. And it's crazy because some of us knows Dan from Head of the Class. That's the scary part, is we actually seen this man, and now it's like all the stuff that he did is like, yo, really? You didn't learn that from your teacher? So, so they are going to do the movie. So they are doing a Zoe 101 movie. Interesting. Very interesting. Very interesting. God bless that child. You know what show needs to come back, but I don't think they would be able to do it, is Roundhouse. For those who remember Roundhouse. Which I... Dan. Here's the 5 shows that I want them to try to bring back, only if they're committed to it. Number 1, Everwood. Can I get I will take this Everwood reunion movie. And you know everybody would do it because they love that darn show so much. And yes, Chris would do it because Chris appeared at a reunion and everything like that. Roundhouse. But the only problem is the music, right? I also would like for them to bring back, in some sensible way, Swan's Crossing. Thank you. You could do a grown-up version of it. Hey, there you go. There you go. I figured it out. This is how you can get... Yup. Okay. Yep. Yep. Swan's Crossing. I would have said 15, but I don't think... Well, Ryan Reynolds would probably do it. I just realized something. Some of our MCU used to be on soap operas. Okay. Let me see. Swan's Crossing. I would like for them to bring back Strong Medicine. I know that's not a kid's show, but I would love for them to bring back Strong Medicine that was on Lifetime, because I think that got unfairly cut too. You would love to see City Guys. I would love to see City Guys too. I actually, you know what? Let me see. Ryan probably would do a drive-by. Like, he would be like at the concert, be like, I used to play drums for that band. Like, this, let me show you how to do it. Billy, you're all famous now. Hey, Brooke. Here's me as Kelly. Couldn't stand that girl. Oh, my, Strong Medicine. Oh, yeah, Angela is an OG. Yes, she is. Let's see, what's that? Search. Ryan's. Yep. Lakina, now I got the 15th theme song in my head. But yeah, I would definitely, Strong Medicine. And I know who I would pick to be on Strong Medicine. I would actually, you know what? Okay, if they were to go ahead and redo certain shows, the number 1 show I think could play now, but you would not have it on ABC. I remember Wildcard. You would not have it on ABC. It would have to be somewhere, but I can't. I mean, it could try to put it on ABC. Would be Desperate Housewives for sure. Desperate Housewives would be my go-to. That, Strong Medicine. I would love Pushing Daisies to come back in some kind of way. I would like see I Lakina, I'm going to say yes, but I'm now see, okay, yeah. Because the other network I was thinking of is going to be shut down pretty soon, and that's the CW. I made it Lifetime for cancel that show. I love Chris Porter. Yeah. Now, after I get off of here, I'm going to go watch Strong Medicine. That a good theme song too. I'm actually jamming out in my head. This is really bad. I'm being a geek on the show, on this freaking thing. But no, there's a couple of shows. Like this is the number one show that if they did a continuation of it and use, let me see, would be the daughter. It's either going to be the daughter or the granddaughter. And that's scary to say this. But, and I blame a certain actor who was nominated for a Daytime Emmy on this. I would love to see a reboot of Out of This World. Thanks, Steve Burton, for posting that picture a couple of months ago of y'all little reunion. I would totally love to see an Out of This World reunion or continue with Evie's granddaughter, or like it skipped a generation and now the granddaughter is like freaking out because all she did was ding and everything froze, and Evie's like, it wasn't me. And then the girl says, grandma or mom or something, like, what happened? And she was like, you don't feel anything? Like, oh, Sliders for sure. Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Sliders, yeah. And you know Jerry O'Connor would do it. You see, I'm surprised that me too. I thought Tubi had it, but they don't. But Tubi does have soap, so I'm good. Now that's a show that could never be made. They could never redo soap. I'm sorry. They could never do soap. I'm sorry. They can't. I would love a few Greg Browners would come back in addition to Everwood. Kayla, I agree, but it's just okay for me with Everwood. I just was upset because they were supposed to come back for a 5th season. They were. But right before everything, like they had the outline for season 5 done. And that's when they got the call right before they was getting ready for production. They canceled it. I'm like, I need to know what happened. Like, what the mess? But I will say this. If you watch the Terminal List, you get an Everwood reunion. So, just saying. I'm like, okay, I see what you did there. Let me see. Never ever do a reboot. Here's the thing about Cheers. I'm gonna because I see what Peacock is what NBC is trying to do. Yes, the success of Night Court has been good. Okay. But Cheers, I'm going to say leave that alone, because Cheers was, you have certain shows that define a generation. And not only the audience, but of television. Cheers was that type of show where, yeah, everybody does know your name, and you had like an umbrella storyline. And then you had the ongoing drama of will they, won't they with Sam and Diane. Again, a Guardians reference. And then, you know what I'm saying? I think, to me, because I can totally see who they would get to kind of be the headline. It would be Woody Harrelson, aka Matthew McConaughey's half brother. It now makes sense too about Woody and Matthew. It's like, y'all do have the same Like, okay, let's find out. But I cannot see Cheers there would be so many hits because Cheers also was. Let's put it to you this way: a lot of people who would watch Cheers now, like if you set a group of people who've never watched Cheers before and showed them the old Cheers, everybody would nitpick it. They'd be like, "Oh, this was too sexual. This is too, da 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 and da 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 da." It would not work in today's world. If they tried to bring it back, it wouldn't. There would be something still missing. Everything. Jacarius, what you know about wings? Except for chicken wing, hot dog, and bologna. What do you know about wings? Frasier was a spinoff of Cheers and most successful. Now Frasier is coming back because they're Kelsey and them, but it's gonna be on Peacock. You know what show? Okay. Speaking of Mr. Kelsey Grammer, I wouldn't mind Girlfriends to come back. But I know that, I want Girlfriends to come back. Yeah, Buffalo Wild Wings with some dressing on the side. Buffalo wings, hot wings, get your mountain spicy. Okay. I have no idea why I just went there for that one. Okay. This is going to hurt for me to say this. I'm not a fan of the reboot version of the game. I tried. I really did try with the game. But again, it's sort of like they took the funny away and they made it complete drama in a sense. And I'm just like, wow, okay, there's some things that works and then there's some things that don't work. And I'm just like, y'all made it too heavy-handed. Any Day Now was a good show. Living Single. Living Single could work if people will understand why Living Single was so important. Does that make sense with how I said that? Because I don't want it to be in the same situation as Rock. And for those who know what I'm talking about, you get it. Most reboots don't work. I will say some does work if you understand that you're not going to be like the original, and you have to understand that the OG audience is going to look at you and look at the show and also have the new audience. Because I'm going to say this show in particular, because this show, there was 2 shows in recent years that you had the OG fans. No, actually 3. There's 3 shows. I'm sorry. There's 3 that had the OGs and the new Gs. And one of the shows actually had people from the original to help them out with it. That was Dynasty, Charmed, and Gossip Girl. Now let's take a look at Dynasty. Dynasty worked in a way that I think people were surprised on. But this is how it worked. First and foremost, you did have open communication with some of the old school showrunners. One, that's how you do it, because you need to balance, right? Okay, you made it fresh because it's a new audience. The audience that watched Dynasty, doesn't know the OG. We do, because we were there. Most of us was, okay? You also had to have a tie-in to the older audience and the younger audience. And who would that be? Grant Show. We all know Grant Show, whether you remember him as Ryan from Ryan's Hope or Melrose Place in 90210, but you knew Grant Show. So Grant Show being the father, that was just like, he's Blake. Okay. Another thing you needed to do was you need to modify it to go along with the times. Sammy Joe was not a girl. She was a guy, right? Okay. Then you had Nicolette Sheridan, who, again, most of us OGs, we not Landon. Paper dolls. For her. So you had that balance. And it surprised a lot of people because it worked. Yes, there were some hits and there was a lot of misses, but it worked. MJ, you said it. The charm stuff. This show fell apart on social media. On social media, you're not too late, Terrell. The thing is with Charm, the controversy started on social media between the cast. Charm ended literally the reboot happened literally a couple years after the OG, right? So it wasn't time to reboot it. You literally did the same storyline. You just changed a lot of things around ethnic. It was so, and like you said, it was too much drama. Like the new cast was like, well, we're better. And then you had the old cast was like, I don't understand why they didn't do the original stuff. Like it was just, it was too much drama. Like the drama was happening on social media and at the conventions. And I'm just like, and then you had actors starting to quit the show. And I'm like, well, I'm glad I wasn't invested. Then you have Gossip Girl. Gossip Girl on HBO Max, or as we now call it, the WBD, Warner Brothers Discovery. The one thing I will give them props for is for those who didn't have HBO Max, they showed it on CW. Brilliant on that. I watched the first episode because my cousin was so amped up for it and I wanted to see if it was going to live up to the hype. Problem number one, it was 8 characters introduced to you in the first 10 minutes. Here's such and such. I'm like, okay, let me keep score here. Like, okay, so homegirl is rich. This girl got a problem. This one has a problem. Can't tell anybody about their sexuality. Number 4, It fell apart so fast, and I was surprised that it came back for a second season. But I've been told the show has been canceled because of the HBO, the merge, and all that stuff. Some of these shows are like Charmed and Gossip Girls. They literally just ended, and you started a new one. You didn't even give it a chance to breathe. Now, Dynasty, the last time we heard about a Dynasty was like the 90s, early 2000s because, And it didn't work. Now, 90210, glad you brought that up. That was not a reboot. That was a continuation. See, here's the thing. Charm, reboot. Dynasty, reboot. Gossip Girl actually had a tie into the old OG. So can we say that's a continuation? Yes, we can. Dallas, say what you want, but guess what? That was good. Up until Larry Hagman's death. Sometimes people will say an actor cannot define a show. No JR, there's something missing. No dig to Linda Gray or Patrick Duffy or to Kent. They can carry the show, but J.R. Ewing was the show. Yeah, he did. And we was on Soap Party and I announced his death. I said, hold up. I said, wait. I said, breaking news. I said, I can't even do this right now. And I think what happened, see, here's the thing. After Larry died, I felt as though Yeah, you brought in some heavy handers. Judith Light, my God. My God. Why isn't Judy? Why is Julia Light is not like I need her? Okay. But it was, and I will say, but it still was something like, okay, for the generation that grew up with the JR, right? When his death of when he died, it affected that viewership. For the new viewership, yeah, this was like good because it was still continuing with the son, but there was still something missing. And the fact that they brought back Knots Landing in that episode. I'm just saying, how we do not have Knots Landing in this world, I don't understand. What's the mess? Okay. Anyway, back to that. Criminal Minds Evolution is doing good. I will say that. But like 90210 to me, again, they were finding an audience with the new kids, but also we were still there. So having, the OGs still there to tie it into, Silver, and then having Shannon, when Shannon came back, that was an event in its own rights. Because it's like, okay, the WB/CW, Charmed, okay, Shannon, all right, but having her back on 90210, but in the douchebag move, you had Kelly be pregnant with Dylan Shaw. You know what? Not going to talk about it. Not going to talk about it. Now, Melrose Place. Melrose Place could have worked if they didn't kill my Cindy off. One. I still, to this day, say that Ashley Simpson's character should have been Kim's daughter. Because both of them was cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. God, I missed that show. And Colin Eggsfield played the. And then you're going to have Amanda look like a. Get on my face. Anyway, the new Dallas never recovered and was canceled shortly after. I mean, that's what we were talking about. It's like for the OGs who watched Dallas, it affected that viewership. For the other viewership who didn't really know the legacy that well, it worked, but it still something was missing. You wonder if they should reboot Empire. Not right now. Give it 2 more years. Maybe give it 3. Because it's still fresh. You know what I'm saying? I love Judith Light, but having her play Harris's mom, she looked like. Well, I mean, there's a lot of actresses and actors who because Kelly Sullivan and the guy that played her son was 5 months apart? Maybe 18 months apart or something like that. What the heck? Let me see. I still say Cassie. Oh, I actually wanted that. Lakina, I had it in my head that she was her long lost daughter. You had the drama. You had it all right there. And it just, it's crazy. Okay, guys, think about this. Just think about this real quick. We do not have a Knots Landing. And we do not have one single Aaron Spelling show on air. Think about that. Oh, yeah. See, okay, real quick. That was the whole story. That her character found out she was Amanda's long lost daughter or something in that if the show still was on, one of them would have found out that, or it probably would have been Colin Eggsfield's character finding out. Yeah. Oh, Higher Ground was good. Yeah. Yeah. Look, I'm gonna be honest. All of us was caught off guard when Jamie announced that, because it was wait, what? He's leaving days. Wait, huh? What? What's going on here? We all miss Ambitions, and y'all know I love Oprah, and I respect Tyler Perry. I didn't like that. I didn't like that at all with Ambitions. Ambitions was the number one show on that network. Sorry, Tyler Perry, but it's true. You got dethroned. Every Tuesday night, it was so funny. Everybody on social media, including actors of daytime, we was all tweeting about it. We was tweeting Ambitions. The cast would be on Twitter tweeting back. Jamie would get on Facebook or whatnot. And it's like, you were so invested in it. I'm going to tell you something. When they had my forever Rick Hurst on there, I screamed like nobody's business. I was the happiest girl in the world. You couldn't tell me anything. But I miss that show. I miss Ambition so much. And yeah. The real reason. Oh, that's not all. That wasn't it. I'm just going to say this. When you're an outsider and you can bring in more ratings than the person that's currently there, then you feel threatened. And I'm going to be honest, that's my take on it, because my whole thing was Oprah and Tyler Perry. Like, all the Tyler Perry shows was on OWN at that time, right? The Have and Have Nots was not doing as great as it was before. Queen Sugar was doing okay. Anytime Greg Vaughn was on there. Then you have, for better, you had a lot of these shows, right, that Tyler was doing that was yang, yang, yang. Here comes Jamie with Ambition. Michelle Van Jean, you got everybody, you got Robin Gibbons, and it dominated. They had higher ratings than the Have and Have Nots, which was there for a very long time. Their ratings compared to Ambitions, look, I'm going to be honest with you. Ambitions wanted me to tell you, knock, 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 knock. They were the most talked about show on that network, because the Have and Have Nots ran out of something. Because I'm going to be honest, I was faithfully watching Have and Have Nots until they just went, I don't know which way they went at. I don't even know where. They tried to bring me back in, and I was like, I'm out. I'm tapped out. I couldn't do it. That's right. Greg Vaughn and me will be getting married. But the thing is that it's like when you have, oh, don't get me started about Greenleaf. Don't get me started about that show. I'll talk about that in a minute. But the thing is that it's like, when you're playing with a toy for so long, it starts to get a little like, yeah, here comes somebody with a new toy and you're like, oh, but somebody's like, no, you can't play with this. This is my toy. And that's how it was, because seriously, Ambitions was the number one show with more viewers, more buzz and everything. And I'm going to say it too. I think somebody panicked because they were getting more attention and felt a little bit, threatened. Just saying. Just putting it out there. Because why would you cancel a number one show that was on your network, brought in more viewers than somebody else? Streaming numbers were amazing and whatnot. Why would you do that? Just saying. Just putting my 2 cents out there. And then you go and look elsewhere, BET and stuff. So, Mm-hmm. Now, as far as the different direction of OWN, no offense to Oprah, but how many times did you go and take that network to different directions? Because let's go back, folks. When OWN first happened, it was all about the Oprah Winfrey Show, Dr. Phil, Rachel Ray, Dr. Oz, and all that. Remember the famous speech? I cannot afford to have all my children and one life to live on the cost effect and all that stuff. What happened? The network was, she bring on the encore repeats from, because remember, it's on the online network of all my children and one life to live. And what happened? Network was going up. The numbers was going up because people was watching it because not everybody could get the online network, right? And also got to remember, OWN was not available for everybody yet, right? Okay. Then it was like, idea. Okay, Tyler Perry and her signed off a deal. It became the Tyler Perry OWN network. The OWN TP network. Because you had, the have and have nots, you had this, you had that, you had everything in between. So I'm just saying. All right, some questions. Do you think Days has done a good job of adding some new blood into after the departures of a few long-time vets in recent years? I think they have. And I think, I was trying not to talk about this because I know I'm probably going to talk about it later, maybe. I know everybody's feeling a certain type of way about the recent news about Camilla Bannis leaving the show and, that the show already doesn't have certain people like Abigail and all that. But then I'm looking at the fact that they're ushering in new blood. Now, on Monday, we're going to have my Dimitri back, who is an LMA. And then we're going to have a Vivian. So to me, I feel as though they do a good job of rotating people out. But I will say this in a point, I want to wait and see how this works out. And I understand people are right now like in their feelings, but to me, I'm just like, all right, I want to see how this works. Give me at least 6 months, 3 months to figure how this is going to work. But I do think Days does a good job on it. Let's see. The network is going to, I miss SoapNet and the other network that show the same day, Pop. So Joy said, what are your thoughts about the Christina recast? Okay. That completely stunned me. I was online and I saw it and I saw that nobody was talking about it. I think they had just posted it and I saw it and I was like, what the hell? I'm kind of shook about this because okay, there's a couple things that went through my mind. Why did you recast the role where you don't use Christina as it is? That was my number one. Because I have such an issue with how they do not use Christina, who is Sonny's daughter, but she's also Alexis, which means she's a part of the Cassadon family. You had her in a very good story of Christina's sexuality, among other things, but you cannot use her. My issue is, okay, I said that I don't think this was Lexi's decision, obviously. And I said that before I saw the video. I saw the video and I was like, okay, so they're going to do a surrogacy storyline because I said this a couple of weeks ago. I said they're going to have Christina because for Christina and Molly and all that, I said that's what they're going to do. I have an issue. Okay, so they told Lexi what the storyline was going to be. So I'm thinking that maybe it wasn't something that she, agreed to. I don't know. But then you have Kate Mansing, who Days fans now, we can talk about it. The reason that Kate had left was because she was obligated to doing other projects. Because one thing that Days did do well is if Kate was unavailable, they would get Marcy. If Marcy was unavailable, Kate. They did this rotation thing. Until Kate was more focused on directing, because she did do some directing for Days of Our Lives. And she did not want to be on contract because of, she wanted to do other things. First and foremost, I need for everybody to stop jumping on Kate. Because all she did was take a job that was offered to her. Now, do we know if this is contract or if this is going to be the same as Lexi's? We do not know. And I'm just going to say this. Yes, Kate is a little older. Please stop doing this because it's one thing. And women, you stop saying she's too old. We get it. But y'all are really pushing that like, well, she's too old to play this role. She, she looks old. Da da da. That's ageism. And we're not, because look, there's a lot of characters who are not playing a lot of actors who are playing characters that are not their age. Okay. She took a job. Let's find out what happens. Will she be on every single day? We don't know. We don't know what we just know she's going to be there on May 22nd, point blank period. I am going to miss Lexi because Lexi really wanted to work. But I'm just like, I'm just so completely thrown because this was something nobody saw coming at all. And it's like, okay, let's see what happens next. I guess I'm allowed to say that kind of stuff. But, yeah. I have a feeling she was let go too because the face, like she wanted to cry, So, let's see. I am pregnant for Lexi, but oh yeah. Yep, Lindsay Morgan, my girl. That was my girl too. Let's see. I will say that I think. Well, I will say this: at least Kate's not playing a new character. You know what I mean? Like she's playing a character we know. I don't know what they're doing. I do know another topic that came up was about Vanessa Marcel's TikTok conversation. If you weren't there, I don't know what to tell you. But she did say it. There was times that they were going to try to bring her back. And she said there's only 2 times she will come back. When Maurice decides to roll out, if they decide to bring her back for that, and when the show is ending. And she said the magic word. If they want to recast, go ahead. GH, don't you dare recast that role. Because I'm going to be honest with you. I don't trust it. I don't trust them to write Brenda as a full-fledged character. The one thing I can say about Brenda is I like when she comes in, stirs a little pot, and rolls out. Because she leaves everybody in her path shook. She leaves everybody in her path shook. Yeah. So, but I know everybody's like Gina Tognoni to be Brenda. I can see it, but I actually want Gina to play Sky, to be honest with you, which would be really easy fun. With the ongoing writer strikes, do you think that all the current shows should hire whether to help or hurt? Well, let me see. Do you think that all current should hire scriptwriters? Definitely to improve. Everybody, look, everybody needs some help. We all need help. I think, with the writer's strike, and this is why I say, like, Days fans won't know anything until later on next year. Young and the Restless, Josh is still writing. He's all by himself. Which can be scary, stuff like that. GH, I don't know who they got. I mean, see, this is going to be interesting because during the last writer's strike, there was some good stuff that was happening, but there was some bad stuff that happened. And I said this, I said, the 2 shows that if I was, would be GH and Days, because GH is somewhat on a good path. I said somewhat, not all the way. And so I don't know if whoever comes in is going to hurt the show. I don't think none of them wants to hurt the show. You know what I'm saying? I don't think nobody wants to hurt a show. But I do think that everybody needs help, to be honest, though. Let's see. I think Lindsay Harley can play. I want Lindsay back on the soap too. Maybe it was true when I heard it was going to be Taylor. I guess those talks. I had heard that too. I actually heard that. But I think that was just a rumor, to be honest with you. Because I could totally see. Can I see Vanessa on Bold? I mean, I could, but I can't. if the writer strikes had stuff already written before this, they can use the, okay, so right now, like all the shows are 6 to 8 weeks. So as far as material goes, they're good. You guys we won't notice anything different, hopefully, until midsummer. But I'm going to tell you something. You think the writer strike is something? There's another strike that's happening, and that's the Actors Guild one. That one is going to be the one that really puts everything on pause. Because, yeah, you don't have writers, but you do have backup writers, right? You don't got backup actors. So that's why I'm like, Lakina, I'm going to tell you something. If you was on earlier, that's my big, I vented about that. I vented about that because of what happened with the MTV Awards. They canceled the MTV Awards that was scheduled for tonight, and they're going to do clip base. Now, I'm pretty sure NASA has something already lined up, but for me, I'm going to be selfish as I don't know what. It really would suck if they were to do that, but I totally understand. But at the same time, I want to go to the daytime Emmys. like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and it just sucks because it goes back to the whole respect thing is that, you know, I understand that the writers want equal, they want to be treated fairly. And people from Disney and Netflix and all of them, they're like, oh, well, money talks and bullshit looks. And no, it's the respect. You pay these people. Just like, again, like I had said about my teacher at childcare, it's like everybody wants to be treated fairly. There should not be somebody who feels as though like, you know, pay these people. Let's get back to work. I remember when by the press conference, yep. And see, MTV is going to do like clip based, like they're like, lead actor, action, it's like Terrell, and they'll show the clip, and then they be like, and the winner, and have the MTV movie guy, and the winner is Arnold Schwarzenegger for Governor USA. Like, I don't know if they're going to pre-tape. I think they're going to pre-tape something, but yeah. And with the SAG talks about to be bumped up because June 30th is the contract, stuff, but they may bump it up because of what's going on with the writer strike. And then you have the director strike too. So it's a summer of strikes. Couldn't they do this some other time? No time at all. Just saying. Yeah, SWAT because of production. And okay. And I want to, because I saw somebody, thank you, whoever did this, because I don't think a lot of people read the article. It's the same situation that 911 on Fox has. It's the production. It costs more money to do these shows as the seasons go on. SWAT is one of CBS's top shows, and it's more money. And just like they could have went to another network, a la 911 to ABC, which was I'm sorry, Fox, but you do realize that was stupid. All right. Okay. Just saying. But I understand because it costs more money. And sadly, a lot of these places do not have enough money because here's the thing, Angela Bassett, I love her. She's not cheap at all. So yeah. So, I mean, I hope that they do work it out with SWAT because that is a top show. But side note, Shamari can always come to Young and Restless for a little bit longer. Okay. This could be the perfect storm for the entertainment industry. Oh, yeah, for sure. For sure. When WB reported streaming profits, everyone lied saying streaming, we know that. Right. And by the way, a moment of silence for the CW. In case you didn't hear the news, there's 8 affiliates or maybe more that is dropping the CW. I will remember you. Oh, okay. Anyway. No offense to the CW fans, but I'm trying, other than Flash, what is their top show on the CW? I'm just asking for a friend. Me. This could be the strike to end our strikes. I mean, the thing is that with the writer strike, because, okay, the big difference from the last one to this one is the streaming networks. You have the Peacocks, you have the Amazons, you have the Netflix and stuff like that. And not for nothing, network shows have become popular again. This is thanks to Albert Elementary and whatnot. Pay the people, because if you can pay the actors a certain amount of money, you can pay the writers, because without the actors, they're, because the actors have to talk. They have to speak the words that are being written on a script. And if you don't have that, then you don't have a show. Duh. Same thing with movies and Broadway and audio. Yeah. My local city. Yeah. I don't know if Baltimore is doing it or not. I wouldn't be surprised. The CW, hey, CW, you can always go back to the WB and UPN. Michigan J Frog wanted me to tell you, and that's what we do on the WWB. So, all right, you guys, I'm getting ready to log off. But real quick, I want to say shout out to everybody who watched Backlash on the WWE on Peacock. That was freaking awesome. I saw that. That was a huge turnout. To all the soap fans, don't give up on your soaps. Enjoy them, even if they're giving you a heartache. Still enjoy them, because it could be a whole hell of a lot worse. Also, bring back my children's shows. And why is Caillou coming back, and Barney? What the mess? And everybody who saw Guardians of the Galaxy, it was a good movie and a good wrap up. So I will talk to you guys later. Love you. Bye.